The orphanage hallway was decorated with tiny lights, paper stars, and a small plastic Christmas tree. Children were running around excitedly holding gifts and chocolates. The college volunteers had given them. Laughter filled the room. But in one quiet corner sat a boy. He had eyes silent and unreadable. His fingers were cold, tightly holding the small gift box someone had handed him earlier. He looked like he did not belong in the celebration at all. And the made it worse. Kid pushed him, whispered things, called him strange, because he never spoke much. He kept all his inside. He did not cry, he did not talk, he just survived. The volunteers entered, laughing and talking among themselves. Van was with them, a bright, hot girl who always knew how to make someone smile. As everyone enjoyed the movie and music, her eyes kept shifting toward the corner. She saw him, a boy sitting alone in the shadows, not touching the food, not opening the gift, not even lifting his head. Van frowned softly. Van thought, why is he alone? Why does he look so scared? She excused herself from her group and walked toward him, slowly, carefully, like she was approaching a frightened. Hi, what is your name? Vine asked with a small smile. Her voice was full of comfort, which makes the boy comfortable. Jungkook. Vine smiled widely at his answer. Wow, your name is so cute. She sat beside him. Jungkook did not speak anything further. But why are you here sitting alone? Jungkook stayed silent. Vine thought another way to talk with him. After a few minutes of silence, Jungkook spoke. You should sit with your friends instead of here, but I want to sit here with you. Jungkook looked at her, taken back by her answer. But why? No one wants to talk with me. If no one will, then I will talk with you, because you are a good boy. Jungkook just kept staring at her face, because no one talked with him this much longer. Will you come with me to watch a movie with everyone? Trust me, it will be so much fun. Vine said excitedly and extended her hand for him to hold. Jungkook placed his hand in her for the first time, trusting on someone after he came in this orphanage. Vine smiled widely, making a Jungkook also smile. Vine eyes widened. Oh my god, your smile is so cute! Vine praised, making a Jungkook blush little. He looked down, avoiding her gaze. Author point of view, some days went and Vine again went to the orphanage on the new year. That time she learned that Jungkook lost his family in the car. After that, Vine started to meet with him often. She would bring a gift for him, clothes, sometimes homemade food. While Jungkook world started to shine, world was a call to him, but Vine was not. She made him feel that there is someone in the world who cares for him. He started to smile with Van. He always waited for her. Meanwhile, Van life changed. Van family shift to abroad, but her mom left Van in the South Korea because she wanted Van to study here in Seoul. Van lived with her elder sister, but she did not forget about Jungkook. She always go to meet with him. She did not know why, but she felt connected to him. And seeing him lonely, so she did not stop visiting him. But after a 1 year, Van's sister got married and lived with her husband, making Van left alone. Van was a now 20-year-old, while Jungkook was a 17 years old. She thought to take him with her, so by legally Van took him with her, and Jungkook did not deny because he also wanted to stay with her. Wan sat on the bed after making a dinner. She looked at the time. Jungkook is a 5 minutes late today. Wan said, but just then main door opened with a Jungkook walking inside. His gym bag was lazily draped over his shoulder while his face was a little bit. Wan smiled. Welcome back home, Cookie. Dinner is ready and freshen up. Wan sat and walked inside the kitchen. Jungkook stood there staring at her disappearing figure. Then he went inside his room. Jungkook and Wan both were eating peacefully while casually talking. How is going in college? It's going well. You know na, you can leave the part-time job if you feel tired. I wanted to earn for you. I wanted to do job. Wan sighed as there is no use of arguing with him. Okay, Wan said and started to eat silently. Jungkook sighed. Princess, I really wanted to do job and I do it because I feel bored staying at home doing nothing. Jungkook said and held one hand. One smile finally making a Jungkook also smile. He cannot see her said. After a few seconds later, one phone ring. She picked up the call. Hello Sunghoon, Wan said in her usual cheerful voice while Jungkook stopped in midair. Sunghoon, one male friend. Jungkook's jaw tightened, the air around him shifted, cold, heavy, jealous. He did not speak, he did not have to. He just stared. Van noticed him. She could feel it. That sharp. Van lowered her phone a little, glancing at him. Jungkook sat perfectly still. If jealousy had a shape, it would look exactly like him right now. Vine tried to continue the call casually, but her voice became shaky. Yeah, I'm having a dinner. No, 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 nothing important. Jungkook's eyebrow twitched. Nothing important. So he was not important. Jungkook sat there, his eyes with Van cut the call, not able to tolerate more his glares. What is your problem, Cookie? Jungkook chuckled. That made Van gulp down. What I did, princess? Van, sharp. You were literally throwing a daggers by your glare while I was on the call and now you are asking what you did. I was just admiring you, how beautiful you look. Van heart skip a bit. Jungkook smirked and eat silently while looked down at her plate. She knows he is jealous and does not like when she talks with someone else. One low voice. It's not good to be this much. Cookie. Jungkook put his fork down. He stood up and walked closer to her and stood in front of her and leaned down. Jungkook whispered, I don't like sharing something that is only mine. Saying this, he walked in his room, leaving Van confused by his words. Van and Jungkook walked together in the streets. Today Jungkook picked up her from her workplace. Van saw a little puppy on the road. She smiled sweetly and rushed to that little puppy, making a Jungkook confused, thinking where she is running. Van down in front of that little puppy and spoke, Hi little. She took him in her arms. Jungkook poked his cheeks with her when that puppy snuggled into Van. Cookie, look, he's so cute. Van get up and show him. Jungkook took that puppy from her hands and smiled softly to Van. He's cute, but you should not touch the street dog. What if they have some disease? Jungkook said and put that puppy down and grabbed Van's hand and started to walk. Van looked at him in disbelief, but then she heard puppy, so she turned to look back and saw running toward her, but that suddenly stopped running. One eye started to Jungkook and her eyes widened, seeing a Jungkook scaring the after of that little Jungkook. One shouted to Jungkook while that poor ran away from there, not wanting to witness there. Stop being jealous from everything. I told you before that I don't like when you pay attention to someone else instead of me. His voice laced with seriousness. Van realized that is not normal. She did not say anything further and started to walk. After 1 week, The jealousy moment was a long forgotten from Wan's mind because of Jungkook's normal behavior. That's what he saw her after that day. Here now Wan was sitting in front of the TV watching a movie. Just then Jungkook entered in. He sat beside her, placing a one hand behind her. Did you finish cleaning the kitchen? Jungkook nodded and Wan again turned her attention to the TV. Jungkook put his head on Wan's shoulder. Wan did not mind because she have a habit of this. The peaceful silence broke by Jungkook. Wow, it's so cool holding a like that. Wan looked at him. Jungkook smiled and acted like the actor did in the movie with her. He laughed, the kind of laugh that made Wan scared. Do you like? Jungkook nodded like it's the most common thing. I want to buy one. Wan gets shocked. Real? Yes, real one. I will buy one day. Wan became shocked. She never knew he likes. Jungkook dad was and Jungkook is the. But Jungkook and Wan both does not know about this. Jungkook live here far from the world, but in his there is a. Shut up now. Go and it's already late. But this is no time when we. Stop arguing with me, Cookie. Jungkook sighed. Okay, good night. He said and went outside. Wan ran a hand on her face. Nowadays his action giving her shocks. The moment Jungkook entered the living room, he froze. Wan was on the couch, laughing with a guy, a male friend. Their heads were too close. The boy hand lifted, hovering near Wan's hair, about to brush something off. Something inside Jungkook snapped. His vision blurred with red. Yeah, his loud voice boomed through the room. Wan and that boy jump started. Jungkook stormed forward in long, heavy steps and grabbed Wan's wrist, pulling her sharply behind him as if from. He glared at the boy with pure, how dare you? Jungkook growled. The boy stumbled back, eyes widening. Jungkook's expression was cold enough to. Something in him, something inherited, rose to the surface, even without knowing his. He looked like a man who could someone in a second. Jungkook, when he's pulling his arm, is this how you talk to a guest? He turned to her, and that made him even angrier. Guest! His voice was sharp. You are taking his side. Wine rubbed her forehead. We were just talking. Why did you shout? Jungkook's gaze back to the boy. The boys followed. I should leave now. Wan nodded. Yeah, we'll talk later. Later? That single word pulled on Jungkook's. She planned to meet him again. The boy nodded quickly and almost ran out of the house. The door shut. Now only the two of them remained, and the silence was suffocating. Wan turned to Jungkook, her eyes angry. Why, Jungkook? Why do you always get angry whenever I talk to someone? He looked at her like she was asking the most obvious question in the world. He is he is rising and falling, and then he finally said the words he had been for a years. Because I like you. Wan froze her, turned cold. Jungkook stepped closer, his voice breaking, but I cannot see you with anyone else. You are mine. Just her stunned. He moved in front of her, his eyes, but still, he cupped her face with both hands gently. Princess, he whispered, stepping so close there, mixed. You don't understand what you mean to me. One heart clenched. Jungkook. He shook his head, thumb brushing her cheek. Just give me one chance. I can make you. I can take care of you. I can be your. His voice dropped lower, almost. One slapped him. Jungkook's head tilted to the side from the force. The sound echoed in the room. His cheek in shock, eyes wide. One step back. You are crazy, Jungkook, she cried, voice cracking. How can you? How can you say that to me? Her eyes filled with tears. She turned and ran toward her room. Van wait, but she slammed the door shut before he could reach her. Jungkook stood in the hallway and still on his cheek, his eyes lowered. Not angry, not confused, but shattered. Jungkook knocked on Van's door. Please open the door, I'm sorry. Van did not open the door. Jungkook kept the door but no response. He sat in front of her door and as the time passed, Jungkook's eyes closed and he followed. Jungkook's eyes wide open. He looked at his surroundings. It was a dream. Well, I am going to stop having that type of dreams. Jungkook said frustratedly. He saw the time in his watch and it was the middle of the night. Jungkook looked at the door, worrying for Ryan.